beautifully played. Very thoughtful, very, you're kind of planning everything very well. And it is extremely difficult and important in this piece, I think. You asked me before if I want you to play with the repeat, and I said no repeat, but I think you also planned the repeat, I'm sure, right? And what to do in the first and the second time, and then I said no repeat. Okay, what to do now, the first or the second time, right? So I think you have a plan for everything. I feel that in the way you play, and I think that's it shows a lot of maturity, yeah. And not just that, but good instinctive understanding of the style and a kind of a natural approach to music making. So that's all good. Now you ask me what's not good, right? Because you came here to find out what we can do better, right? And I don't find many things that are not good, but I have a little bit of an issue with a couple of moments here and there. And mostly in the way Schubert is planning this piece, even better than you. Schubert had a plan. And it's in small details where he writes that makes a big difference if you pay attention to these details, as far as how this piece roll on and on and on from the first note to the last note without feeling repetitive. And I think this is critical here because, the way he wrote that, there is a lot of repetition. But it should not feel like a repetition, right? It should not feel like you're repeating. And you're trying not to. And you're doing well. But Schubert already has a plan for that. So if you look carefully, you will see exactly where it is. And I'll be very relevant in what, to point out exactly what you missed. But I want to start, actually, our short time together, I want to start with what I really, really liked. And what was, I think, the highlight of your performance. The most charming and the most artistic moment was by far this gorgeous that kind of middle section there of the second part, which has this kind of improvisatory nature to it, a little bit ornamental nature to it, right? Very free and very spirited kind of. That was beautiful. That, I think, really showed me what's hiding inside you and what's so good about you as a musician, because it suddenly feels like you're composing it on the spot. And I think it should be like that. It's parallel to perhaps the A major sonata, the grand A major sonata, if you know this. Right? And in that second movement, in the middle of that second movement, please listen to it, there is this kind of an improvisatory, chaotic, organized chaos that happens in that. And that yields that great climax eventually, and finally a repeat to that very lamented, very sad theme. Here, there is no big drama, but you wanted to create big drama, and I think too much. And I'll touch on that. Yeah, but first I want to say that this was the highlight of your. Okay. Now let's talk about what can be better after this long introduction, right? Look what Schubert is writing for the first kind of moment here. What is Schubert writing? Tell the audience as far as this dynamic here. What's that?
What's a forzando? And he writes like a hairpin.
So good. So I never heard that there is a big difference between this and this sound. I felt like this was all forte for you. You have the right answer, but the execution was a little bit overdone. I think this is important because it's building that second section. Right? Do you know what happens in the recapitulation?
Oh yeah, fortissimo sando.
Yes, so it's sforzandissimo, we call it. Yes, sforzandissimo. Sforzando, sforzandissimo. So Schubert already wrote a plan. You know what Schubert is writing here? You already know, I'm sure. Here.
It's a hairpin.
Yeah.
It's pianissimo.
We start in pianissimo here, and then we have a hairpin, which is kind of like Chopin is writing sometimes these very long accents, right? It's accent slash hairpin, which means listen to me kind of thing, right? Listen to this note. Right? Do you know what Schubert is writing in the second time in the recapitulation?
Oh, wait, is it just an accent?
No, 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 no. But it's good that you don't know, because otherwise, why am I here, right? Here is the second time. Look how amazing it is. Look at that.
Oh, this is the second.
This is the second time, sir.
And the first time.
Aha, and the first time, oh, okay, share with the audience now. Here you go, speak.
Oh, the first time it's a smaller hairpin accent.
And the second?
It's much larger.
Yeah, in the second time, it's actually a diminuendo. It's all actually a diminuendo. Ti, lo, li, lo, lo, pa, 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 pa. And the first time is ti, lo, li, lo, lom, pa, 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 pa. Wam, pam, 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 like that. Okay, but you tell me, listen, professor, it's such a small difference. Why? But it's a big deal. In the style where we are, you know, that classical Viennese style, every little nuance makes a big difference. It's not a style of big dramatic changes, you know, like Rachmaninoff. You know Rachmaninoff, I heard you Rachmaninoff, and other things, right? Or Szymanowski or things like that. This is all about minute changes, small differences that makes a big impact, actually. And I think that kind of way of you know, appreciating that reserved nature of this style and being sensitive to all those small changes, this is the right approach, I think, for making music in this, you know, Beethoven, Schubert kind of style, right? So very accurately to look at everything and to really think, why did he write that? Now, look, you guys, you have to understand, you know, the difference between this first little accent and the second one is literally a millimeter difference, maybe 1.5 millimeters, right? But it's a difference. And he's consistently writing it also in the second time, right? So I think small things like that can make a big impact on the music. Let's start from the beginning and see what can happen. So, look, try not to play so soft, because it's piano, not pianissimo. I know you're using una corda. If you're using una corda, maybe try to just play with half una corda, a little bit. So there is a little bit of definition to this. A little bit of that has to come out. When you play the first time, maybe you didn't get used to the piano, it felt like this. And I want it to be a little bit more articulated. Yeah? Yeah, yeah. Think about maybe a horse. Yeah, good. And I don't know if I would stretch quite right there in the beginning. I would maybe leave it to the second time. Immediately. Then second time, maybe in the recapitulation, I mean, yeah? Try that again. Yeah. Yes, and this is exactly where it starts to be over dramatic, right? It's forte, not fortissimo, and it will come back again and again and again. So the difference between this and this, it's already an octave up. It's already more brilliant. You don't need to change just so much, right? Just reserve yourself a little bit. Yeah, so if you take una corda in the beginning, then just remove it and play with full sound, and that's it. Start from the beginning, let's see. Yeah, good. It's a good question how to end this phrase. Is it ti-di-da-da-di-da-da-da-da-dum or ti-di-da-da-di-da-da-da-da-dum? A little bit of tapering down. I would do that. I would rather not hit the wall. Ti-da-da-da-dum, but ti-da-da-da-dum. A little bit. I don't want to have piano because I want to have contrast for piano here after that. Right? But I also don't like, which feels like you're falling on the last note. So try to. Yeah, but maybe 5/4 would be better. Yeah, you have giant hands, man. Don't be lazy. 5/5. Yeah. See, it immediately creates that little diminuendo because 5/4. See that? And now 5/5. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So ti-da-da-da-da. And then, that one, I don't know. It's a good question. I would anyway do 5/4 there, but maybe I would keep it open. Because it's an invitation for the forte. And then
The first one not as much of a resolution.
Speak up, you have good voice.
Oh, so first one not as much of a resolution.
I would not. I would not close that phrase. I would not close the door completely. Because I think these two opening statements have to somehow connect to each other in some way. You know? Try from the very beginning. Try much less of that sforzando. Almost. I think part of the problem is that you're doing so much crescendo here. Now you have to reach almost forte, and you would not do that. See? Maintain a little bit less crescendo. Yeah, and maybe if we're very mathematical, then the first two beats without crescendo, and now you can add a little bit. So first two beat, same almost, and that's enough, I think.
What about una quarta?
It depends on the piano and on your mood. I don't know if it's necessary, but most important not to do this. Not to do that, okay? Yeah? Yeah, that's much better. And I think another way to control that crescendo is not just to think about how to control the fingers, but to control the pedal. So you have a choice. You don't have to do this. 4 beats with one pedal. You can innerate the pedal a little bit later. Right? So on the second beat or on the third beat, or somewhere in the middle, and that already creates crescendo, right? Because we're adding layer on layer on layer of more and more sound. Now you're smiling. Why?
It's just, I think that's very...
Because that's clever, right? Yeah. So instead of controlling that, you decide when the pedal wants to come, right? And when the crescendo will come. Bravo. Yes? Yeah, good. And finally about that, remember the opening statement. 2 times, once in forte, once in piano, then higher octave in forte, connected in some way. Here, the same way. Not to wait too much, and not to disconnect. You're doing ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bam, ta-da-ti-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bam, etc. That's too much, right? Bravo. La, 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 li. Wonderful. Yeah, so I think this is an indication of slight rubato. Lam, pam, 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 pam. Lam, pam, pam, pam. Schubert really liked those Viennese candies, I call it, you know. It's not German, it's definitely not any Polish or anything like that. It's just Viennese, and it's a very sweet thing. I'll give you an example. You know, this sonata. Yes, the C minor, very famous. So the computer is slow today. And second tema comes like this. Not the way you want, but the way Schubert writes, on these three notes, there is a little bit of diminuendo, accent diminuendo, or a large accent that requires attention. So instead of doing the, then you should play. See the difference? And it comes back again here. And it's so Viennese to do that, you know, and never to do this, because that's German. Downbeat, downbeat, no. See the difference? And I think it's exactly like that here. The first one is a little bit longer. Ti ta 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 ta. Yeah, it's hard for you there. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And you can decide how much to do. First one, almost nothing. Second, more. Third, more. Or opposite to that. First one, really a lot. And less and less and less. But it has to happen a little bit.
And on the repeat, I could like vary.
But on the repeat, you don't have it, my friend.
Oh no, but if I do the repeat in the score of the...
Oh, you mean if you play the repeats,
yeah.
Then you can change from first to second time, third time, you can, this is the game, right? I mean, you can decide which one of them will be more, and then change the whole thing when you do the repeat. In the recapitulation, you'd have nothing of that. Schubert already took care of that. Second time, yeah? With no timing whatsoever, because it's just a diminuendo. All right? So really, you don't need 2 eyes, you need 7 eyes, right? For those small little millimeter instructions. Try to continue from there, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And you're doing exactly opposite of what Schubert writes here. You're doing this, beautiful by the way, but opposite. You're doing this crescendo here, and diminuendo. Schubert is writing this flat. And now he's writing crescendo, diminuendo here. I'm not lying, look. Yeah, I'm really telling the truth. Yeah. I mean, it's cameras and everything. I have to tell the truth, you know. So what does it mean to you that the crescendo comes here, second part of the sentence, and not in the beginning of the sentence? What do you feel about that?
I think, well, it's kind of normally the harmonic change is already brought out naturally by the left hand, but I think he wants to bring it out maybe even more because of the hairpin.
So you said the right answer, I think. I think the hairpin is for the left hand, not for the right hand. Oh. So it's not da-dee-da-dam, it's ba-dee-da-dee-dam-pee-da-da-dam.
So you'd voice to the left hand?
Of course.
So.
I would play the duet, in other words, right? I wouldn't just do the left hand, but I would consider the duet the reason that he wrote the hairpin there.
And on the repetition, could I?
No.
No.
No, because here it's really written like that. So, what you can do in the repetition, in the repeat, you mean, right?
Yeah.
What good questions you have, by the way. You know, good that you're dealing with it, my young man. You can do this if you want. I would never would do it. Not first, not second, not never time. But I would consider in the first time and in the second time, right? I would consider that.
Okay.
To change the balance a little bit between the left hand and the right hand in that duet. First time, 70% left hand, 30% right hand. Second time, 60% right hand, 40%. Exactly that. Exactly. I'm joking, of course, you know. So let's try that. No, without crescendo now. Peaceful. Very good. And now. Aha. So there is a reason that he's doing it like that. And I think it also changes the weight distribution of this phrase. Meaning, it's relatively peaceful and calm in the beginning of the phrase, and suddenly emotional in the second part of the phrase, where what you did was very German. The first part of the phrase was, you know, inflated and then diminuendo. Viennese is exactly the opposite. Right? So it's offbeat in some way. It's asymmetrical in some way. Just like what we did. And not ta-ta-ta-ta-tam. It's asymmetrical in some way. You understand? Just try that again, this whole thing. Very good. I wrote you a question there, a question mark there. I'm not really sure what is the best way to move into that climax. And I'm not sure really where is your climax. You know, this is a very difficult kind of moment to orchestrate because it repeats ti-da-da-dum-pum-pum-pum, ti-da-da-dum, again and again and again. So you have to start to think about it way before. I'm not sure that this is the right way to start the climax section or the codetta of our little, you know, section. Maybe the best way would be and not. So maybe taper down. Instead of instantly an accent and instantly 100% of sound, right? Try to be more misterioso there. Yes. Yeah. And I think this is important, but this is much more. Again, it's offbeat. Trampi da 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 da. Ti da 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 di.
Should I place it like on certain tones? Like
You mean? Yeah, but that feels very artificial. And I think it's artificial because we have to start a little bit from before. Play from here and see how it goes. Yeah, I think it could be a little delayed. Rampa, but it needs more power for that. Rampi, da da da. This can help you. This can help you. It it can help much more, because the right hand is just doing pum, 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 pum. A little bit boring.
So should I crescendo even before he marks crescendo here?
No, you can just show me that line a little bit more. Attention. Now. Yeah, I wouldn't, again, you like to wait. I don't like that so much. Lampi, la da da dim pam pam pi, no tampi. You know what I mean? Don't lose the tension there. You know, imagine that this would like to do. There's some kind of. And where is the climax, right? Where?
Oh.
I'm really asking. Is there?
Maybe if there is one, maybe it's right here where it goes.
Oh, so how much you need to maintain power and tension in order to make it? You haven't done that. Yeah? And much better. Okay, good. And then the question is, what's the mood? What's the mood?
Sort of peaceful.
Peaceful?
Sort of.
Okay. There is some peace here, yeah.
I feel like it's more.
It's like a middle, peace in the Middle East. It can go. we can. Yeah, there is a lot of tension in that piece, right?
Yeah.
It's not completely calm and heavenly, right?
Yeah.
What else?
I think it feels almost transcendental.
I don't know. I think you're maybe seeing something that I don't see there, which is okay, by the way. I find it very dark, actually.
Oh.
I think this key is very, very dark. And of course, it's heavenly in some way, but it's not heavenly in a bright kind of future kind of thing. And you play very expressive, and you really open everything. You do something like this. Something like that, right? I'm sorry if I'm not completely. And I would be a little bit more tensionful and cold and dark. So, and almost without rubato. You like this very much, I think. And that's a little bit too romantic for my taste. And it loses that kind of distance, I think, that you should have between the subject and or the object and the subject, you know. You should be a little bit more detached from this music, right? In my opinion. Yeah? You're very involved in it. So sit straight and don't lean over it, and think like you're a godly creature and just control it from above. Yes. Yeah. Almost, much better. It's a little bit too slow. And be careful about so don't, the continuity of the phrase will help you with legato and cantabile. Very good. One more time. And more sound. And flat now. Good. Flat. these swells are becoming very romantic. The accordion. Try not to do it, okay? May I? Can I? It's okay. We'll get it, don't worry. Maybe this is one of the most difficult things to do in piano. It's really. Are we doing this? Are we doing that? How do we engage these two chords so that it's not accentuated on the second and not too soft, and not accentuated on the first and not too soft, but it has that kind of sustainability, a certain horn kind of sound, and it goes for eternity. See that? It's really hard, I agree. And then here maybe a little bit. See the difference? In other words, the sound control is better here. The tone control is slightly better, right? Let's try that, No? It's a bit too soft. You're using una quarta, right? Use half and try to have this motion up and down twice. Ta-tam. Yes. Now careful. Bravo. Very good. So there is a certain French overture here. Pa-bam, pa-bam. It feels very royal and very noble in some way, right? Don't. Very beautiful. Don't kill the phrase again. When you come to the second phrase. See what I did? Yeah. I'm saving it for this moment. You're spending it. I mean time, right? You're spending time. Like you have pocket full of time. I'm very, very careful when I'm putting it.
I saw how you also kind of kept maintaining the forte until it said piano.
Second phrase. Keep. Bravo. Really. I will sign you on that CD right now. This is exactly right. You have questions?
Yeah, sorry, but with this hairpin on the forte.
But I'm doing it. I'm doing the diminuendo. I'm not doing ti da 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 da. I'm doing ti da da da. I leave enough sound to make the dramatic color change, which you do also, by the way, but you just do it less than what I did. Now you did it like that.
Okay.
Right?
Should I do it more on the repeat?
My teacher, when I asked those questions, should I do this, should I do that? My teacher, Professor Vardy, would smile, and you know what his answer was? Yes. I was like, yes what? This, yes. All right? Now deal with it, like I dealt with it. The question itself is more important than the answer. It means that you're thinking already about what to do. Right? And if you don't want to do it in the repeat or it doesn't matter to me. Just deal with it. Okay, it's good. Again, we're almost done because we don't have much time left. But look at how interesting the notation is in this spot, for example. He has forzando from pianissimo even, or from piano, and then forte. So it's not forte forte like you did. Ah, it's interesting, right? So let's slowly play this section. Now a little bit. Yeah. So I don't think it's quite that. This is sforzando from that. And this comes. It's very hard to do it, but in other words, what you should not think is papam. You should think papam. Of course, too much. If you look, if you keep your pedal here, it's very hard to do, I agree. Keep the pedal here, and now you'll have sforzando here. See that? It's very hard to do it without pedal. So keep that little bit of time. The pedal right there from the last harmony. Keep the pedal and then and forte. Yes, yes, yes. Because that's exactly how he writes it. And I think the reason that he writes it like that is because he doesn't want pa-pa-dee, which is a very even sound, like in the beginning. There is a variation here. Suddenly, that comes at us, all right? All right. Generally, this is kind of all I wanted to tell you, and you can maybe we can finish here with this transitional moment back to the A section or back to same subject matter. Play from here, maybe. And now. Good. Yeah, I think you can create a little bit of motion, a little bit. You're very accurate with the reading. If there is a little bit of motion, then it will not only finish well this B section, but it will return better to the A section. P da da di da da di da da di da da di da, like that. A little bit free. I don't think it should be such a stiff moment like you're doing, right? And because this has to be in our mind that we're about to come to. Yeah?
It's like it should.
It's a bridge between this and that. For you, it just belongs to the B section. It's just finishing that section. For me, it's also opening the door back again to the A section. You understand? So let's try that a little bit. Yeah. It's very similar to this. Very good, like this. Right? It's the same concept, so I would not play. That's like going to the dentist. A little bit painful. Granted, the tempo relationship is closer on this impromptu than what it is here. So you still, I would not match the tempo, of course. But still, I think you need to think about how you return, all right? Thank you, sir. Thank you, David. Beautiful. Bravo. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that you stopped. I know you plan to play everything, but we also have limited time, and this is such a massive movement, right? In some way, you can divide this very complicated movement into a few main sections, right? What is in your mind the few main sections of this movement? Because there's so many different moods and so many different passages and bridges and themes, but is it grouped in your brain, or you're just randomly going and swimming in the ocean? Is there some groups?
I think there are groups. Right?
Show me. Where would you make the first? Where would you say the first stop is? Where would? Right there? Wow, really? Play just before. Let's see what you played before. And then this. So this is something new, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe not.
What did we have in the beginning? Play that? Play just the right hand? Okay, so it sounds like familiar. Just in piano, right?
Yeah.
Is it new?
No.
So is it the section that you want?
It's all the same section.
Oh, so why to stop, right? So maybe the first section is a little bit bigger and longer than what you said, okay? So where could it be?
All the way to here.
Okay, play that. Let's see. Really? Oh, sounds familiar, no?
Yeah.
Aha, wait a second. So maybe it's
Okay.
even, okay. You understand the game now?
Yeah.
Okay, then find me.
Maybe it's like
Where?
here. Oh, maybe the whole thing is one.
No, that's where you're wrong. You were right before. That's it. You play them that, please. Play the audience so they know what you're pointing at. Yes. Good. That is the second section. And when is the third? You're very careful now, right, darling? There is no wrong answers, you know. It's just a game we're playing here, dear. Okay, so where is it in your opinion? Aha, that's not possible, right? Because this, it's exactly, it's the same thing, right?
Oh, then this one.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
You're sure about that, right?
Okay.
No?
Maybe it's not.
So when?
Like this.
Exactly that. It's exactly that, you're right. When we come back to it again, right? When we come back to it again, that's the last section. And really, a good performance of this piece, in some way, would have this overview, amazing kind of skydiving view, you know, or parachute view, where you can see the whole land divided into small little fields, but generally, the beginning until this legendum tone, that in the middle, right? And then again, the end of, which is the repeat, basically, right? It's a very, very difficult task, don't you think?
Yeah.
Because it requires you to, you know, to have big lungs, you know, to be able to sing it all or to think about all of that, big capacity in the computer, right? To think about all of it connected. And I think this is the biggest challenge of this first movement, you know? And maybe this is the reason why it's called fantasy, right? Because if it was a sonata, we wouldn't have any problem. You would say, okay, here is first thema, here is second thema. But there is no such thing here, really.
Yeah.
Yeah? So it's important, I think, to find the connections and not the separation between the parts. So you separated each and every part, and I think it's important to connect things rather than to separate. The piece itself is separated by that fermata that you have before this, and another fermata that you have here before this. Anyway, it's separated. So separation is not a problem. Connection is a problem. How to connect, all right? So let's start to deal with it, right? So let's start from the beginning. Would you please? Often I think that you can create a more kind of juicy sound, a little bit more deep sound rather than what you're giving me. And if you don't move your hands so much, which usually I like that people are using arms, that's very important. But in your case, it's kind of like you're wasting a lot of energy, I think. If you just try not to enjoy so much this moment, or even this, but try to really think much longer than that. Remember, we want to connect, right? See what I did? I really went all the way to the end of the phrase. And then I contrasted with piano. I didn't create a new section. I just created a memory of or a reflection of, right? So don't do too much here. And sound. Yeah, you see, I mean, I don't think this is such a big, where is it in the beginning? Could you? Yeah. I don't think this is such a big deal. La, 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 no. It's la, 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 sol, fa, mi, maybe, mi, re, maybe. But even not that. Because I want to go re, 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 mi, fa. I want to go all the way there. Just move it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah. And this for Sandos that you're doing, try to not to give too much on the first. Not here, but here. Yeah. Re, mi, fa. Pass by. Yeah. Again, it's such a big moment what you're doing in the left hand. Si, la, sol, fa, sol, la. I think it just it takes away from the longevity of that of the right hand melody. Si, 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 si. La, sol, quick. Very good. Mi, sol, sol, re. Re, re, do, and keep going. La, yeah, very good. And it's kind of an improvisation on, or a variation on the melody, right? So don't divide it. But pass. And these also. Not to wait. The third or the fourth time already that we have the same melody, just in a variation form, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Trills. Yeah, the trills are very important, my dear. The trills are there to create vitality and vibrancy in the sound. It's not there to just, waiting and doing something. It has to be effective. I think it's appearing in many things, but especially this. You know that piece? It's the symphonic etude. And then he's writing. It's like you're singing and you're singing like a cello with molto vibrato, right? You see? So it's not a passive, passing kind of moment. It's really intense, the vibration of the sound. So you also hear. And only now, diminuendo. And the trill stops, and immediately that volcano comes back again. Yeah? And don't wait here between here and this, but immediately. Yeah, so you're starting a new section here. I see mezzo forte written here. Right? I think the fortissimo is a big part of the continuity of this. Re, re, mi, mi, pa, pa, ti, ra, ram, pa, ra, ram. What will that be, by the way?
Like this.
Yes. So it's not a soft moment here. It comes with anger, with fierce, with fury, right? So the mezzo forte is maybe here, just not to do too much, but connect it with that kind of drive forward. Yeah? Yes. And me, now you can, and again. Good. So it's better. I would even be a little bit more powerful. And then I would do we'll not do diminuendo here, but and then here I start softer. And finally diminuendo. All right? You can modulate that or think about it as you wish later. And what is the mood that you think happened here?
It's very dreamy.
Okay, I agree. You have the right answer. Why do you play like this? What kind of dream are you dreaming? Yeah? Very passionate dream. I would be very far away. I would say, what is this? It's so far. Right? Yeah, I don't like that rubato because it feels like you're awake. When you're in a dream, you're kind of like a zombie, right? You're not active. You're just passive. So don't let the left hand becomes this kind of, windy or stormy. Very steady. La, sol, la, re, do, si, da, da. Very good. Si, sol. And then goes to yeah, you see, he's writing these connections already. He's writing this little, have you ever had a Lego set?
Yeah.
Do you like to, yeah? Not so much?
I'm like, it's okay.
It's okay. I'm addicted to Legos. Lego is wonderful. And you have the big ones and the small ones, and especially when it doesn't come from a box, like when you have instructions, but you just like have a random Lego thing, right? And then you can build whatever you want. So you have the big ones and the thick ones, and then there are the connectors, little pieces that are just 2 or just 4, and they're skinny like that. And they're connecting things. And he has all these connectors here. And if you pay attention to the connectors, then you will not have piece, 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 piece. You will have a structure through the connection. And I'll show you where. Really, really beautiful how he's doing it. That's a connector, right? That goes into this. Right? And this connector you did very well. You did that very well. You felt how it's connecting. But before it also exists. You understand?
Yeah.
So what to do? First of all, to know it's there. Second thing, do not speed up or slow down a connector. But smoothly connect to the next section. Right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have a structure. So let's try it again from here. Good, keep going. And here is the connector in your left hand. No, why are you rushing this? Yeah, but come from here so you can feel that, yeah? Keep it steady. And again. Si, do, re, mi, fa. Yeah, again, this is a connector. I'm not asking you to play very, very strict, but I'm asking you to really pay attention to these moments where you take so much time here that you do something like this. Something like that. In my opinion, this is a bridge that's supposed to connect this, the previous section. You see how it was just magically connected, right? So if you don't do this, maybe you give up some kind of personal feeling here, but you gain, what do you gain? Yes, and this is the greatest challenge, as I told you in the beginning of our masterclass, really the greatest challenge in this. So I would give it up. But if you don't want, that's also okay. Bravo, bravo. Connector. Fa, do, do, ti, do, sol, si. Goes. Where is this going? Yes. That's why it's so important. Where is this going? Yes, yes, you got it. from this comes. Feel that? The harmony. Right? It's a surprise moment, I agree. But there is some tension in the air, right? Okay. Good. Do all of that. You were wonderful now. Yeah, si, si, mi. Do. Bravo. Yeah, very good, very good. I think this is the mindset that I want you to have. Not to think about this piece in a license for expression. You know what I mean? Like, wow, it's a fantasy. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the case sometimes?
Well, I thought that was the
Yeah.
case.
I think it's a fantasy. So you have a job now, a task, a duty, if you want to be more noble in the words. The duty is to make sense of it for us, the audience. Because we don't understand. We know sonata form. We understand variation form very nicely. We know ABA form. But fantasy could be very chaotic for us. And your duty is to explain all these different moods and parts, how they connect and how they lead from one thing to another. And then there is this big moment, I agree with you, which is where everything stopped. Let's just do that, if you don't mind. The Re, Sol, Sol. Where new mood comes. Good. What do you feel about that? What do you think is happening here?
It's like it means in a legend.
It's legendary, right? Yeah. In a legend mood. But what is it? This legend, Hans Christian Andersen, like Hansel and Gretel kind of legend. You know those stories, children's story. Is it? This is it?
Oh no.
No.
This is like an ancient legend.
Of what? What is the main subject, or what is the main mood here?
I'm not sure.
I would say death. Sorry, it's not such a cheerful moment, right? But there is a funeral march or funeral parade, or there is a great sorrow of somebody that died, and great loss of a very important and special person, probably a hero, the death of a hero. Not now, because it's legend, so it happened already long ago, and then we remember all the things that are happening after he died, right? And I think part of this is to be very heavy in the sound and not to be so soft like you are, but a little bit more balance of 50-50 between the top and the bottom, and to feel like you're playing it in two hands. Can you do it one time with two hands, see how it feels? Left hand more. Yeah, more. Yeah, and now the result of that is this. And I didn't like so much this staccato that you had. It felt very cartoony. I think I would have the staccato with tears, so very heavy. Right? Pop, pop, pop. Kind of like basso pizzicato. Boom, doom, doom. Not tick, 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 but doom, doom, doom. Let's try the whole thing. Good. Left hand, low line now. Yeah, I would not do any rubato. Like an ancient, some kind of ancient song, where the people that sing it are old people with beards, like that, you know. Clean the pedal, and now not too short. In tempo, yeah, very good. I think that's the right attitude. How to start the legend. And if you start the legend like that, then maybe when you come to this wonderful moment of excruciating pain, then maybe now what? What is the mood here? What do you think?
It's very sorrowful or like very painful.
Really? Interesting. I felt like it's some kind of consolation, some kind of a relief. I'm not saying that our problem is solved, and we still feel pain, but there is some kind of hope, some, kind of ease of that pain like that we had here. You understand? More. All the way. Yes, keep. And connector, dum bum bi da da di da bum 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 ba di da. The connector, di da 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 di, not faster. Di da di, don't play faster because keep it now. Di do do, same tempo. Ha di da da di do bi da 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 di da 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 di da 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 di ba ba bi ba ba di da da da. And crescendo without accelerando. No slowing down and suddenly. Yes. You understand? So all of that, what you've done here before, was you take the 16 notes and you squeeze it, you enlarge it, you squeeze it, you enlarge it. You have no beat, you have no connectors. Now it was much better. And it all starts. Once you reach that tempo, keep it all the way. Tira tara tira tira tara tam pa di da dam. It's all the same kind of the one connector that leads to everything, right? Good. I think maybe we can just do the quite amazing ending here, if you don't mind. Yeah. But start from this, from the chord. Maybe from here, from the bass, right? Yeah. why do you think this is a very amazing thing here? Can I ask you a question? Sorry, you okay?
It's okay, yeah.
Why do you think he's changing this accompaniment? I mean, it has such a nice accompaniment here, and it keeps the same melody basically, right? Why? First time. Why not to keep it? Why to change here?
I thought it was like an echo.
Well, he doesn't write pianissimo or anything like that. And we should play maybe a little softer, but that's the melody. I can play the melody softer by repeating the accompaniment. Why does he change the accompaniment? You know, if I was half the composer that Schumann was, half even, I would just repeat the accompaniment because it's such a beautiful, or maybe I will just do one time. And go directly. Why do I need to repeat it again, but to change the accompaniment?
Maybe to like slow it down. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Slow it down because it's harder, right? Why is it harder? Because the left hand has to jump up, and before it was doing this, which is much easier, right? So now the left hand is jumping up. And look what happened.
Yeah, to connect it.
It's a genius, right? It's a genius how he's connecting the second section back into the A section again. He didn't have to do it. Always think about that, right? He didn't have to change the accompaniment, but he's rising up, it's ascending in the left hand now. And the ascension brings this. Now, I'm not saying that it should, be one section, right? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying to feel that the trajectory now is upwards. Where before, remember, it was downwards. But now it's... Right? And these are the kind of things that genius, godly composers like Schumann, the same, by the way, with Chopin Fantasy, and even Beethoven Fantasy, which is not the most popular piece, but it's a very, very interesting piece to study and to understand the genre of fantasy. Of course, Mozart fantasies and many other fantasies that we have, but especially these ones. The composers like Schumann and like Chopin know not how to write fantasy, but how to explain fantasy to the audience. So it's not just a random, beautiful ideas, collection of beautiful ideas, but there is some line that connects those things. And if you find those lines, you'll have a good interpretation.
Okay.
Thank you, my dear.
Okay, thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
All right. May I suggest if we have, I don't know if we have, like 3 minutes of bathroom break. Bravo. What is your name again?
Ariel.
Ariel, is this like some kind of a Disney creature? Like there is an Ariel, right? It was? I think there was, yeah. I think you're wonderful.
Thank you.
I really like you. And I want to ask you a lot of questions, but we don't have a lot of time. So I'll ask you maybe just a few questions, okay? You said you're 11? Mm-hmm. Wow, really? I don't think I played like that when I was 11, Ariel. Really? I played maybe, a small Clementi sonata or very slow Chopin, but not like that. You're really good. I want to ask you about this piece. It's a very interesting piece, right? And you love it?
Yeah.
Why do you love it? Can you tell everybody?
Because it's really energetic, and I'm sometimes really energetic, so it's really like
it's like
me.
you?
Yeah.
Okay. But is it always energetic? What about this moment? That really beautiful. Is it energetic also?
No, it's romantic.
It's romantic?
Yeah.
So you're saying you're also romantic?
Sometimes.
Wow. Okay. Good. So you have this kind of interesting kind of dreams and thoughts, right? Yeah. I like it very much. That's, I think this is the nature of this piece, that it's a theme and variation. So every variation is a different you, right? Sometimes you're like this, sometimes you're like that, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're gloomy, sometimes you're social, and sometimes you like to be alone, right? Yeah. So really, instead of calling this Chopin variation, let's call it Ariel variation. Is that good? Yeah, let's do that. And one of the things that Chopin and a lot of composers love is this rhythm, this meter, when they write in the beginning 6/8. You know what that means, 6/8? You want to see that here? Right there in the beginning. Where is it? Here it's in 4. And then later on, he's moving it into 6/8. The introduction is in 4. And then the variation 6/8. You see that number?
Yeah.
What does it mean? Do you know?
An eighth note counts.
How many we have?
How many 6/8?
How many 8 notes do we have in every bar?
8.
Really?
6.
6, right? It's confusing me too. Yeah. So we have 8 notes in every bar, right? It's interesting, right? Because why do you think composers like that so much? What's so nice about 6/8? Why not? Let's say if it's 6/8 and I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then I feel like I have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Why not just write 1, 2?
Because then that would be not 6/8.
That's right, but why to write 6/8? What's so good about 6/8? I'll tell you, okay, because it's a secret. 6/8 is the best rhythm ever. Ever. Because it can be anything that you want. It can be 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. It can be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's like a valse. Dancing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, right that, right? If it's 1, 2, it's like walking, 1, 2. If it's a valse, 1, 2, 3, like that. And there is another secret. It can also be 1, 2, 3. Instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How many 6/8 how many 8 notes we have? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 6, right? So it's like one of those crazy rhythms. They can do anything, and many composers like to use them because it's very good for theme and variation, right? So every variation is different Ariel, right? Good. So I want to discover that together with you, okay? How Chopin is using this 6/8. Sometimes like a valse, sometimes like a march, sometimes like scherzando, and even one time he's doing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You want to know where it is? I'll show you here. Right there, at the very end. Play this for me. Yeah, just the left hand here. 1, 2, 1, So it's 1, 2, and da, bum, 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 right? Instead of doing tum, pum, pum, pim, pum, pum, pim, pum, pum, pim, pum, pum, it becomes tum, pum, pim, pum, pum, pum. Clever, right? But first, we are starting from the introduction, which is in 4. Yeah? Start again. Yeah, it's a very difficult beginning, right? And I think you're trying to be very clear about this. But I would do more this. I want to see how far it is here. 1, 2, 3, 4 octaves, right? If I start here, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I show this, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So I want to show how big the piano can be. From here all the way to here. Right? So I will balance this actually, and not like you're doing. See how bigger it sounds suddenly, yeah? Try that one time. Boom. Yes, beautiful. And yes, good. This is very difficult, I know. And you have not big hands when you grow, when you older, you'll have much bigger hands, but then you want to be young again. It's always a problem. I think it's hard for you at the moment, but when you have bigger hands, try to play all the notes and not just this. Sounds very skinny, I think, right? But what is he writing here? Do you know this word? Read it to everybody.
Risoluto.
Risoluto. What does it mean?
Resolution.
No. Resolution, yeah, no. It's more kind of resolved, you know. Strong mind. Yeah, Ariel? So when you have a strong mind, you don't want to be skinny like this. Right? You want to feel a little bit more power. Feel that? So try that for me. And then we wait until your hand is growing. Yes, good. And maybe don't connect it with the pedal like you're doing, but yes, much beautiful, much, much better. And yeah, but he's writing a legato here, and you're leaving it. Keep it. Very good. I think one of the most difficult things in Chopin, can I sit here? Yeah. Maybe you can sit here and I'll show you together, okay? One of the most difficult things is to control the sound, you know? Because we want every moment to be so beautiful, and you really tried, and I can feel your heart. But then it becomes sometimes like this. These kind of things. And I want the sound to be very smooth, right? So I'll try to keep with more tension here. See how long it becomes? Right? Could you play that for me, because I can't reach? My fingers are too slow. Maybe we should play it together. It's not bad, right? Okay. We'll be the duo. AA duo. Avi, Ariel. Oh, no, you first. Ariel, Avi. It's a good duo. Try it again from here. So tension a little bit. beautiful. Oh my God. I think that was so much better. Do you think that the new idea comes here? Ba-da-di-da-di-da-da-da-dam. Ta-dam, Baba. A new idea? Yeah. I don't think so. I disagree with you. It's okay, right? I think we're just ta-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-dam, ba-da-da-di-da-ba-da-bam. And I'll show you. We'll play together again. You play the fast note. You feel that? So really, I can all the way to here, right? Hampira, good. Very good. Good, very good. Ariel, I know what you're doing here. It's a very good idea. Right? But when you do that in the left hand, then the right hand is free to play clean sound here. So you can do that, of course, but make sure that you have... Because why? Because you don't want ba-di-da-di-da-da-da-dam. You want pa-da-da-da-da-da-dam, ta-da-da-da, like that. Okay? So maybe from here, do, do, do. Fa, do, do. Yeah, and I know this pedal here, but I would be a little bit more brave with the pedal. So can I play pedal for you now? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. I love this. What did you think about it? Why did you like it? Tell me. Was it better than what you did?
It sounded more smooth to me.
I'm telling you, the pedal that you took before was no pedal. It was like a camel in the desert. I was so dry. I could die, you know. Please, a little bit more, okay? And here is our 6/8. Yeah? Yeah, it's a little bit slow for me. And I'll show you what I'm doing, can I? When I play that, I want to feel more allegro. You kind of very moderato girl. I feel like I'm allegro boy, you know? Maybe between us we can find something better. And also mine is a little bit more free. You're very, very organized. And I like to move a little bit. Let's go, let's go. This is kind holding hand in hand. Let's go, right? There. Okay, but start with a little motion, a little wave pattern. Yeah, not too static. And now you can relax. Good. Wow. And let's go. Yeah, that's just absolutely fantastic, Ariel. Really, and I like it more than before.
Thank you.
Yeah, really. Da da li da da da. Okay, you do that. The re do fa, you love the fa so much, right? I like it too. But li da li da da di da da di da di da da la la pa da. We have a problem here. If you like the fa, then you like the do re even more. Yeah, I think we have to choose. I don't like. I can't love everybody, you know, every note. So maybe I'll just move it. Re do fa da di da da da. Just move it and do da da. That will be the moment. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and now when you play this part before, I thought to myself, oh, okay, Ariel is not just cute, and she's not just musical, but she's clever. Tell everybody, what do you do? You have a little trick here, right? What do you do there?
I first play the top note, or the top voice.
And then?
And then I played the middle voice, and then I played the bass.
And why do you do that? Because the melody comes back 3 times, and you want to have what? You want to have variety, right? Because you think it's a little boring to do the same. Okay, so this is very clever. You want to know what I think about it, really? I think it's too clever. You know, it's really, really very good to think like that, but you're doing it so much that I forgot where the melody is. So, remember, when you play Chopin, melody is number 1. Number 1, always. If you want to add another voice, listen to the voice, but melody is number 1, always. If you want to show crescendo, big power in the bass, do that. But remember, melody is number 1. Melody is number 1. Always, always, always. In Chopin especially, it's a melodic composer. There are a few composers that are less melodic than Chopin, and then you can show other things. For example, Beethoven. Beethoven is structural composer, harmonical composer, and melody, of course, we have. Schubert is a very melodic composer. So also for Schubert, melody is number 1. Schumann, you have like 1 million melodies. So it's not just number 1, it's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And then you can choose what you want. But in Chopin, it's usually 1 melody and number 1. All right? So now show us all the tricks that you're doing, you can do, but melody first, okay? It's much better. Now I'm asking you, do you feel like this should be in legato suddenly? Because you started with pizzicato. Boom, bing, 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 like that. And now you do ta-da-da-da-da. Is that how you want?
Yeah.
Why?
Because then you can make a contrast.
But I don't know if this is such a contrast like you think it is. I think this is, of course. And now did he write legato?
No.
Contrast. Right? You don't need it. Yeah. I thought that when I played that forte, you got scared a little bit. Is it true? Yeah? A little bit shocked, right? And I think that's enough, you know? They will be shocked too. Just play forte, non legato. without pedal. Tira, pa, pi, pa, pa, pi, pa, pa, pam. Yeah, and this is in legato, so play pedal here. And play pedal here. Yeah? But fortissimo. Good. So basically you have two parts. Let's play it in two pianos. Yeah, there you go. Duo Avi Ariel, okay? I want to talk to you a little bit about this beautiful variation. It's like some kind of a never-ending beauty, right? Like a butterfly that keeps going up, and it just becomes more and more beautiful. Yeah, so I agree. Let's talk about pedal, okay? Let's talk about pedal. Tell me, does this feels okay for you?
No.
Not so much. But the same pedal, does it feel okay?
Yeah.
How can it be? What's the... I play the same pedal. Is something wrong with the piano, maybe? No?
It just sounds better.
Why? I want to teach you the rule about pedal, okay? Look at this. Everything the same. 4 notes in one pedal. Clean?
No.
Clean? A little, okay, but not clean. Clean? Okay. So the rule is, if everything is the same notes, the same speed, the same dynamics, and you go up, then you can have more pedal. But when you start low, you should have
No pedal.
less pedal. Yeah. So more, less, but if everything is the same, right? So if I would play this, for example, sounds more clear, right? If I do this, it's not good at all, right? Remember, speed changes the pedal, dynamic changes the pedal, and range is changing the pedal. So why am I saying that? Tell me.
Because at the bass there's too much pedal, and when up there it sounds.
Exactly. You want to be the teacher? You have all the answers. Really, perfect. You want to try now? To be careful when you start, less pedal, and then you can do what you want later. Yeah, but have a little bit of pedal, of course. Yeah, and not camel in the desert. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And now, and as much as you want. Exactly. So now you're very careful about pedaling here. You're thinking about it now. Yeah, good. And here, of course, you can have as much as you want. As much as you want, because I think this is the moment where you feel, you told me before, it feels a little romantic, right? Kind of hugging everything. It's a wonderful, wonderful harmony. So much pedal there, okay? Yeah, and is it difficult for you in the left hand a little bit? Then you can go faster. And then relax. Very good, very good. Okay, so this is kind of this variation. Let's go to the next variation because I want to touch everything. So you're using soft pedal, right?
Yeah.
Be careful when you use soft pedal because sometimes you cannot hear it. So maybe with your wonderful touch, you have a very delicate touch, maybe you can try without soft pedal one time. I think, look, my dear, I think it's much better. It's much better also not here, but it's much better for them. Is it true? Yes. Everybody says yes, you see. I didn't tell them what to do, really. And then you like to take the time, pa-da-da-ram, pa-da-da. I don't like that time. I would like to be just there. Pa-da-tam, pa-pa-pa-pam, pa-pa-pa-pam, ta-ta-ta-ti. Ta-ta-ta-tam, pi-da-da-tam, ta-ta-ta-ti, da-da-da-tam, pa-pa-pa-pam. Ta-ta-ta-tam, pa-pa-pa-pam. Okay, good. So that's the comment about that. And now let's go to this gloomy, sad moment right there. Do you want to try that? That was dirty pedal. You want to change that there. It was dirty. Try it again. Yeah. So you played that very beautiful. Do you know what this is?
This variation?
Do you know the word nocturne?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you play me a nocturne?
A nocturne.
Yeah.
Like,
could you? Exactly that, right? I could play you another one, okay? There's so many nocturnes, right? And every one is more beautiful than the other. And so when you play nocturne, you have to remember, of course, there is arpeggio in the left hand and accompaniment, and a beautiful melody in the right hand, and we know that, of course. But more importantly is what are the important notes in the right hand, and what are just glitter and sparkling kind of thing, like your dress, you know? That are just beautifying things, like makeup. And I think when you look at that, this is the main notes. From here, you can play. Continue. Right? So this is not so important. That's not so important. More important is to feel. And then that. Right? So don't play it so heavy. Right? But play light. And reach that in an important note, kind of. Yeah, so change your touch. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Try just the right hand because it's a little difficult with pedal. Yeah. Could you play a little bit longer? Bravo. I think that's how it should sound, okay? Don't be cheap with the trills. Be generous, give trills, yeah? Now play together, let's see how it sounds. Yes. Yeah, and again, I'm not sure it's that important, you know, the way you do it. I would probably play it a little bit different than you. See that? It's more tender, not demanding so much. I think it's the more the main notes, right? So look at my touch. Not so notey like you're doing. Yes. Yeah, very good, very good, very good, very good. I think we're, oh no, this lady that tells me always 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, I don't know. Can we continue? Yeah, I kind of, you played everything so nice. I don't know what to tell you. But maybe just the very end, okay? Where we move into 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Remember that? Don't you have, can't you do that? It's too hard.
I can't do it that fast.
And then what? I see. But I saw before you had a trick. You did one without, it's still difficult for you. Okay. But when can you do it? 6 months? We have a deal in 6 months?
Yeah.
But I have a suggestion. Do you want me to play?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do the right hand, I'll do the left hand. Okay, from here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait, sorry, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're beautiful. Thank you. Bravo. That's how it should sound, right? That's how it should sound. Okay. Well, I had too much fun. This is not fair. And now, the final student. I guess it is that age, right? Okay. Do you play only the first movement? Or both movements?
I played both movements, but I asked you if I should play one movement or two movements, and you told me I should play one movement.
This is what I told you?
Yeah.
I really don't remember anything. Yeah, so maybe the first movement, okay? Yes. Very beautiful and very correct and good, and you're, very polite way of playing, but also very expressive. So you did everything. I want to talk to you. Did you hear the masterclass that I gave about this sonata just a few days ago here?
Yeah.
You heard it?
Yeah.
So what am I going to say now? Yeah? What do you think I'm going to tell you?
The same things I said.
So what was that? Do you remember? Generally, do you remember?
Like he said, like
Mm-hmm.
like the like some parts, like I remember you said to like not wait so much.
Yes, yes. I think this sonata needs flow. The first movement needs flow. And you already know that this ta-ram-pam is coming from ta-ram-pam in the first movement. You already know that, right? The magic of that. And this sonata needs some kind of connection between the first and the second movement, but also inside the first movement. We need to kind of move it a little bit and create connections, not to separate. Yeah? And I think you're separating a little bit too much for me. Yeah? So let's try to also connect things. And maybe I have other comments, small things, all right, for you, Natalie. So therefore, let's start from the very beginning. The introduction, see how you do that. Very good. I think one of the things that you're doing is that you're changing fingers from here. You're doing 2-4, and then you're changing position to 1-5. Correct? I saw it, right? So what do you think is good about this? There must be something good, right?
So like the first note won't be too loud.
Then you can be more gentle about it. Right? Good. But what's not good about it? Can you tell me?
You have to shift positions.
Yes. And when you shift position, what happens?
It gets disconnected.
You know everything. Look at me. See how much there was this kind of sense of ascending from here. Magic, don't you think? I think I did it better than I expected, to be honest. Try that yourself. Don't look at me. You're looking like, I don't know anything. You know everything. If it's good, right? If you can do better, you'll do better, right? You know everything. You already know. You're very musical. And I think you can do better, Natalie. One of the things that is difficult here, and it's really hard to understand, I think, is in Beethoven's music in general, that Beethoven almost never write piano. Piano music, for piano. This is an instrument of piano, right? Yeah. He never writes for this instrument. But you're saying, wait, but I know 32 sonatas, right? Variations, 5 concertos, and 1 fantasy. This and that, so many pieces, right? With piano. Professor, are you crazy? What do you mean he doesn't write for piano? What do you think I mean by that?
He writes for forte piano?
No.
I don't know.
He's using
the
key,
orchestral elements.
See, I told you you're very clever, Natalie. He's using the piano as a sketch. Do you know what sketchboard? When you have some kind of thing and you just doodle something like that. Okay, now I remember that. And then you move to the next page. Okay, now I remember this. And then one day you look at it and say, okay, maybe I should color it. Maybe I should make a symphony out of this. Good idea. No. String quartet. Okay, you do a string quartet, you put it back there. And you look at this and you say, how about what?
Concerto.
A violin concerto. Okay, I'll do it. Fine. And then you look at that. I'll just keep it like this. And it stays as a sonata for piano because you don't touch it anymore, right? So everything that Beethoven has doing and creating, it starts from here. But the thinking is not to be left here, but to do something different. So that means that a lot of times the color and the sound that we're trying to make should be orchestral sound, right? So if this is an orchestra, let's say, what kind of sound do you think I'm making here? What instruments I'm thinking about? What's in my mind?
Bassoon?
You think about woodwinds? Poo, 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 something like that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to ask the audience maybe? Maybe somebody could guess what I'm thinking about, which instruments I'm thinking about. French horn. Poo, 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 poo. Right? Okay. Go on. Flute or clarinet. A little bit too high for flute, maybe, but clarinet, maybe. Poo, poo. Passable, yes. So you're all in the area of woodwinds and brass, kind of what we call winds, yes? Nobody's thinking about strings here. Or do you? You mean, oh my God, you're doing so many instruments. That's pretty good, right? Okay, cello, possible. Maybe a string quartet then, right? Huh? Chorus, she's getting warmer. Lord is Ave Maria, something like that, right? Very beautiful. And maybe male chorus, right? You're very close, so maybe because you're very close, you can guess now what I'm thinking about. It's an instrument, but it's not a chorus. Pipe organ. Who said that? 5 points for the person in the back. Pipe organ. I think, you know what pipe organ is? Oh, pipe, you should really hear pipe organ. It's this thing with the pipes, you know, there are so many shiny pipes and they're very, very tall. And you're sitting in, and you have a little keyboard in the front, and you play with your legs as well, like that, because you have this bass like that, bass like that, right? And I really feel that here. That F, I'm playing with the leg, and it's continuous forever. It will not do diminuendo in a pipe organ. It continues like that. And I'm trying to make it, you know. Yeah, felt like that, yeah. Let's see if you can play the pipe organ. Fingers, yes. But you know, to play pipe organ, you can't do like that. You got to be like this. Everybody's like that, yeah. Try to be tall and try to look godly, because it's a godly instrument. You find pipe organs in church. Yeah, so imagine that you're in church playing on Sunday. Yes. string quartet. Okay, wonderful. So now maybe some other instruments, right? Because we have everything we can do, we can use. Maybe don't do so much cut. Maybe it's kind of moving into it, It wants to continue to play. It's a little bit more lovely than this super organized way that you did before. Yeah? And yes, yeah, bravo. Why didn't you play like that before? I think it's really my taste, really. Another interesting thing that happens is that once Beethoven is giving us these two lines, like a duet, snake duet, or snake duet, right? And then suddenly this comes, right? And this maybe is voices, some kind of chorale. Yeah? Maybe Bach come to visit. Bach says, hello, I'm here. You don't forget, I'm your father. Right? Or my grandfather, right? So if you want to show Bach or chorale or voices, you don't want it to be so much soprani like you do, because they're not beautiful balance. So you want everything. Look at my hand, it's kind of like this kind of hand now. No, everybody is equal, there is some democracy here, everybody love each other. Yeah? Nobody is the king, nobody is the queen. So just that. Oh, you see, you had so much sopran there. Yeah, and good, but if you want more sound, then give also that. Yeah, but now you look like a zombie. And maybe a little bit of pedal can soften that a little bit. But all the notes, okay? Good, better, and again solo. Good. Is there a main melody here that you think about in this part? But later, yes, here. Or here. Main melody. Left hand? Both hands? It's not a trick question, if you feel like that.
Yeah.
Both lines, I agree. I couldn't hear the right hand. I hear a lot of left hand. And this is not your fault, because Beethoven writes very difficult right hand here. And maybe someone said flute before, remember? Maybe that's much easier for flute than for us with the repeating note and everything, right? But that's not my problem. It's your problem, right? You have to make it a melody. So clear, please, in the right hand. Yeah, and to do this, it's a possibility. But one day, your finger will stop moving like this, because you'll freeze like that. So what's the solution for that? instead of 1, 1, 1, 1, try to change fingers, exactly. Try, there are many options here. There is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, and there is also 2, 1, 2, 1, except one thing I wouldn't do. Oh, mommy, my finger got stuck, right? It could happen. It happens to me too. So I always changing fingers, all right? So try now a little bit, and then you change it at home, okay? Just try. Yeah, and you can do legato. Yeah, it's a little difficult for you maybe, right? Because the hand is still a little small. So remember what I told Ariel? In 6 months, okay? When the hand is bigger and more flexible. I think it also brings a different quality to this figuration. Because if you're a repeating note, then it sounds a bit, pointy. Like that. And if you change fingers, suddenly it becomes very lovely. Feel that? Yeah. And then that's the melody. And now, on the top comes the melody, okay? But let's say that you're going to work on that, okay? And then let's go on to this beautiful section after that. Maybe even more powerful. Maybe more powerful than that. I think you have it, yeah? All of this. Sorry, what am I doing? So remember, what was such a beautiful chorale before? Now it's a little bit pointy and kind of, I don't want to say bad words, but it's maybe angry at least. So all the notes should participate in this. Yes, yes. And try not to play this so short, but good. Yeah, and I know he didn't write legato here, but don't you feel this is kind of a brother or sister, half-brother? Or cousin, let's call it, of what? Did we have something before like that? Similar, same family? We had that before, or no? This is new? Where did we have that before? See that little kind of thing? And here you play it in legato. Then why you play like this? Why you play non-legato here? I think it's a legato line, natural, really natural. What we call this coloratura. You know what is coloratura? It's when you have a very fancy, high-pitched singer in the opera. And she has this kind of virtuosic instrument in her voice. She can do like that, but she cannot do it in staccato. It is all connected like that, and it's very accurate, not like this terrible thing I did. But it's in legato, so I think I would do that also. And then. More legato here. This is hard. Exactly, but a little bit faster. No, not that, okay? I don't want chickens. I don't want I want that, okay? So maybe, good, but it's very hard. Maybe a little bit of pedal can smooth it out a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit too much pedal, especially here. But a little touch. Right? And you can, again, you can continue to work on that legato. Fingers you have. It's all very, very accurate. But fingers enough is not. Finger is not enough. Finger alone is not enough, you understand? You have to think about the quality of what you're doing. And if you feel like I do, that this is a coloratura legato, then you will find a way to do it. If you think it's staccato, like chickens, then it's your choice also, okay? Good, let's continue a little bit. So maybe all the way from here. So why do you play like that? Tell me the reason. Why do you like that moment so much? That's why you want to show me how much you like it? Yeah. I think it's a little bit strange because how does it start? And now? So if you slow it down so much, I really don't feel the connection. Now, you may want to show me that there is a question here. In the beginning, it's more comfortable. And now there is a search for something. Right? So you can show it by doing more diminuendo maybe. But if you delay it like that, now what you're going to do? How are you going to continue now? It's really strange, don't you think? So just a little bit of diminuendo. Without, don't delay. Don't delay the D. Don't delay this. Just go on to it. Diminuendo only. Yes. Yeah. So all of these things. You remember you said already before that I'm going to show you how to connect things, right? So you know it. You know it's separated. I think it should go into this. It's a surprise. And you're really not showing me the surprise. Right? It's strange. So all you need is a little bit of time maybe, but not so much like you did. You need a little bit of time because it's strong, and then subito piano, suddenly soft. So we need a little time, but not so much, okay? Yeah, good. So remember the flute from before? Yeah. What? Or from here? Isn't that the same? Yeah. And what do we need? Flute or what other instrument which I said? How did I call it? You know how I call it? Coloratura. Coloratura. Can you say that? Coloratura. Yes, very, very wrong, but okay, you understand. Yeah? Soprano coloratura, yes? Or soprano, you can just say soprano. So what did we say about that? It should be?
Legato?
Yeah. Do you want Beethoven to spend so much ink and to write a slur and another slur? And it's a very expensive ink. You know, it's not like today's we have a pen, no, or pencil, no. He wrote with ink. You know, you put it down and it's very expensive. So he just didn't write. Because look how many does he have? Like 1 million legato notes, right? It's just clear that it has to be legato. Clear. So play legato, darling, okay? legato. Oh, dear. Yeah, better, much better. I know that you want legato, and I want to finish our lesson by giving you some tips on how to play legato. Do you want that? But don't tell anybody, it's our secret, okay? Okay, good. It's not enough just to connect the notes like this. It's not enough. This will be what I call technical legato. The notes are technically connected. It means that it's not staccato, right? But that's not enough for legato. To make a real sticky legato, you should do two things, this or that. You can play with wrist motion and leave the fingers a little bit behind. See that? It's like sticky. And or add dynamics. Dynamic tension is the difference between legato and lyrical legato. Lyrical legato is lyrical, meaning I can sing it, right? And we know this is a song. We know the soprano here, right? So, see what I did? A little diminuendo there. See how much it sounds more like legato if I play it flat. Very robotic, right? But if I add dynamic, right? You want to try that for me? From here? No, just one hand. Let's see how that goes. Sticky fingers and dynamics. Yes. Why you didn't play like that before? This is good legato. Really good legato, naturally. Play from here. Let's see what happens here. Perfect, perfect. Can you do from here? No, it's too hard. No, but with two hands now. So now, of course, that wasn't so good, right? Now, tell me why.
It wasn't really even.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't even. And suddenly the left hand felt very strange, right? It was difficult. You were paying attention to the right hand, but you never paid attention to the right hand. And you always paid attention to the left hand, and suddenly, oh, well, there is a left hand, right? It was confusing a little bit like that. And so I'm not saying that you should play like that. Not, of course. It was too much attention to the right hand. And you're right. The left hand is more important here. Pom, pi, pom, pi, ta-dam, pa, ta-dam. Much more important. But the right hand is also good. It has to have quality. I always tell that to my students. You have to have some quality. Yeah? It can't just exist. Yeah? So when you go back home and you kind of polish the right hand alone, make it to the point that it's almost automatic, that you don't have to pay attention to it so much. And then pay attention to the left hand, and the right hand will be beautiful and smooth, and like a silk. You know silk? Yeah, like a ribbon. It's so light and so smooth that if you throw it in the air, it will just float endlessly like that. And I think this is the image that Beethoven would like you to have here, and the same with the voice of this singer. It's so smooth and so beautiful that I want to hear her all the time. You know? But I don't want to hear her here. I want to hear her far away. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Well, I want to thank you very much for playing for me today and for showing all of us your great talent and your beautiful mind and your good playing. And I also want to take this opportunity to say something, not to you, but to everybody. If this is the young generation of today, then we have hope in this world. We have hope. Thank you. I know we finished a little bit early, but what can I say?